all know that GTA Online is a fun action game where you shoot big guns and drive really fast cars, but it's also a game about making money, and I recently ran some calculations on how much it would cost to buy every single in-game item in GTA Online after the new Mansions DLC, and it turns out that you will need well over $1 billion. That's right, $1 billion, with a big capital B. However, it's not impossible because billionaires do exist in GTA Online, and I'm not talking about those folks out there who buy accounts from Russian websites only to get banned a month later. No, I'm talking about the legit grinders out there, and I myself have made hundreds of millions of dollars just in the past few years on my main, and if we include all the money from my second characters and alts, well, it's gonna be way higher than that. So I know it can be done with sheer perseverance, time, and determination, and the cool thing about all this is that over the years, Rockstar has added so many quality of life improvements and new money-making techniques into the game that despite the insane inflation, you actually can make a lot more money now and buy a lot more stuff with it than you could in 2015. Just how much can you make though? And how hard will it be? Well, we're gonna find out today in this guide where I'm gonna show you how to earn $500 million starting from absolute zero, and I'll also give you some interesting tips on how to get around the cooldowns for really big heists like the Cayo Perico heist or the Dr. Dre contract so you can maximize your income per session. But first, there's one thing you need to drill into your mind before we begin any of this, and it's the fact that no matter how much time you invest into the game, if you aren't being efficient with your grind, if you don't have a routine, you'll end up wasting most of your time, and as a result, you won't make nearly as much money as you'd hope to. And so planning is the ultimate tool in your arsenal. Like going to the gym, you need to be consistent with your grind, and you need to have a plan A, a plan B, as well as a plan C depending on what type of content is meta. Anyone can make $500 million given enough time, but GTA 6 is just around the corner, and it'll probably be out this time next year, and our goal is to get $500 million before that happens. So how long it will take honestly depends on how much time you invest into the game at the end of the day, but if you follow the methods I'm about to show, I guarantee you it won't take any longer than a year, even if you only play just 1 to 2 hours a day. And here's why. A basic Cayo run gives you about $1 to $1.1 million on average. Then you add a quick Acid Lab sell mission to that, and you're already at $1.4 million. Multiply $1.4 million times 365 days, and boom, you've already got $500 million. Sounds easy in theory, but trust me, there are even more efficient ways to make money, and in this video, I'll teach you how to balance your passive and active businesses together for maximum impact. Plus, I'll also show you to mix and match grind routines so you don't get burnt out, because doing Cayo will burn you out in less than a month. Okay, let's start off by making our first $10 million, and the best way to generate starter cash is by spamming this heist, the Cluck and Bell farm raid. I've done a detailed guide on how to speedrun this heist, and it can reliably be done in under an hour for $500,000 each time, even if you have a Batty 801RR, and once you've finished your first Cluck and Bell, it only gets faster, because now you can skip the cutscenes. And while you're in that 48-minute cooldown after each Cluck and Bell farm raid, what you should do is head over to Dax in the Freak Shop and do the first dose quest line to unlock your free Brigade 6x6. Inside of this vehicle, you can spend $750,000 to install an Acid Lab, which is now the single best passive income generator in all of GTA Online with that Mansion's business speed boost applied. The way this works is you activate the Acid Lab's built-in speed boost and then layer the Mansion buff on top of it, which will give you $351,000 worth of product in just 45 minutes. After your Acid Lab speed boost has expired, it will generate a full bar of stock every 1 hour and 20 minutes. And the cool thing about this business is you don't even have to spend your money on the equipment and upgrades. You get everything you need by doing the first dose as well as last dose story missions. Then all you need to do is 10 Fooligan jobs for Dax and you'll unlock the equipment upgrade, without which it's impossible to make profits with the Acid Lab, so definitely unlock it first before you start grinding acid product. Both Cluck and Bell and the Los Santos Drug War storyline are fantastic moneymakers for new players because you don't need to own a single property to start these missions. You can be straight broke with nothing but a Batty 801RR as well as a rifle to your name, and you can still do these missions comfortably, as not only are they very easy, but they also don't take all that long to finish either. And once you made that initial $10 million by spamming Cluck and Bell and Dax missions, it's time to shift into second gear. For this, we're going to be buying a few sources of passive income to build a really solid foundation for the next $100 million of your grind. Right now, the best way to make passive money is through the nightclub, but you'll also need a bunker business, a few MC businesses, and either a special cargo warehouse or a hangar to make the most out of it, so go ahead and invest in those first. You should already have a bunker if you've used the career builder in the expanded and enhanced edition, version, but if you don't have it already, buy one right now. It too has been buffed with the Mansion DLC, and now you can get a full bar of product in just 3 hours and 50 minutes. Or if you're like me and you only do one resupply each time to get that guaranteed single sale vehicle, you can have a bunker sale ready in as low as 46 minutes. The nightclub already makes $50,000 every in-game day passively at max popularity, but it will also generate you another $50,000 per hour if you link up its warehouse to the following 5 businesses: CEO Special Cargo, the Bunker, the Counterfeit Cash Factory, the Coca-Cola Lockup, as well as the Math Lab. You can also swap out CEO Cargo for a hangar if you own that instead, but these are the only 5 businesses you should link with your nightclub. And once you upgrade the storage capacity of your nightclub warehouse, it will take about 20 hours for the 3 MC businesses to fill up completely, at which point you sell your whole stock for close to around $1.3 million. Add in the $1 million from your bunker and the cash from your Acid Lab sale, as well as the MC businesses during this time, and you'll easily make 12 to 15 million just from your passive income sources between each 20-hour nightclub sale mission. Then for hangar, there are 2 ways to go about grinding. Either you accumulate one type of crate for max profit, or you alternate between 2 types of goods so you have 25 of each with a full hangar. Most people don't like grinding hangar, including myself, and that's totally fine because I just pay Rooster $25,000 and he'll source 1 to 2 crates for me on a 48-minute cooldown. This does cut into your profits massively, but if you already have a hangar linked up to your nightclub, it isn't that bad and you're still making some money from a business where normally you'd make 0 money from using it at all. Also, if you own the new Higgins Helitours business, which was introduced with the Money Fronts update in June of 2025, you'll make an additional 10% on all hangar sales, which is something to keep in mind as well. Now that you have a few sources of passive income lined up, let's talk about the next phase, which is setting up all of your active income sources so you can effortlessly switch between passive income and active income to layer multiple money grinds on top of each other. This way, you'll be very efficient with your time as the 2 types of income function very differently here. The passive grind generates less money per hour, but it scales a lot better depending on how much time you spend in GTA Online. And because it's passive, it works entirely in the background while you focus on other tasks. Meanwhile, active income, like heists for example, generate more money per hour. However, they do require your undivided attention, and they also have some cooldowns here and there, so you typically can't spam them several times in a row, and therefore there's a soft cap on how much you can make with each heist or mission. So the strategy here is to log in and resupply all your passive businesses, like your Acid Lab, Bunker, MC, etc. You can also hop into each one of your Special Cargo warehouses and pay the staff $7,500 to source some crates for you. Then, while those passive businesses are producing their goods, you can do missions like the Cayo Perico heist, the Dr. Dre contract, auto shop contracts, salvage yard car robberies, bail office most wanted bounties, the new No Way missions, whatever you desire, and whatever's on bonus pay for that week. It's up to you. Everyone likes different types of content. But no matter which active content you choose, always have a timer in the back of your head to remind you of your passive businesses and how long they take to process their goods. For example, the Acid Lab fills up in 3 hours with the production speed boost active. The Bunker processes 1 resupply in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Your Coca-Cola lockup needs 5.5 hours to fill up. Your Math Lab needs 6. And these numbers can change wildly if you also activate the business production boost inside of your mansion. And what that does is speed everything up by 3 times. So any passive business that previously took 3 hours will now just take 1 to fill up. And you can't just boost the same business 2 days in a row. So I've come up with a 1-2 strat of boosting my Acid Lab on the first day, then boosting my Bunker on the second day, as I don't really grind MC businesses unless they're on 2x, but if you are someone who likes to grind MC businesses, you can choose to boost those as well. From a purely mathematical perspective, the Acid Lab benefits the most from a mansion boost because it's already super fast and it can process a full bar of product in just 4 hours by default, but with that boost, that number drops down to 1 hour and 20 minutes. And if you also stack the Acid Lab's built-in production speed boost on top of that, it drops down even further to just 45 minutes. And I've also got a nice 2-1 combo with the Acid Lab and Bunker where I boost the Acid Lab, sell twice, and by the time that's done, the Bunker is ready with $210,000 worth of product. See, my first Acid Lab sale happens at 1 hour 20 minutes, then another at the 2 hour and 40 minute mark, and coincidentally, that's about the same time that it takes for my Bunker to resupply once and process that resupply into product. So I just generated $910,000 in passive income in 2 hours and 40 minutes. And while that product was processing in the background, I went on to do active content like a Cayo Perico heist, a Dr. Dre contract, all 3 salvage yard robberies for the week, some money laundering missions. Honestly, you could do anything you want. And here's a nice mix: 1 Cayo heist, 1 Dr. Dre contract, 1 No Way Out heist. That's $2.8 million right there in 2 hours and 40 minutes. And at the end, I also have that $910,000 from my passive business. So it's more like $3.7 million in total in just 1 GTA Online session. And this brings me to my next point here. You need a grinding routine. What is a grind routine? Well, I actually just provided an example, but essentially it's a sequence sequence of tasks that you do every single day after logging in to maximize the amount of money made, leaving zero downtime or minimal downtime between content. Grinding isn't just about spamming the same content over and over and over. Rather, it's finding a way to seamlessly integrate all of the best money makers in the game so that you're cycling between them and lining up the start of one cooldown with the end of another cooldown. And ideally, you want at least 2 or 3 different routines for the week so that you don't get bored halfway through. So here's an example. Let's create 3 heist rotations that I can go through with you right now. And let's call these sets A, B, and C. Set A is Kaio first, as that has the longest cooldown at 2 hours and 24 minutes for a solo player. Then I follow it up with the Dr. Dre contract, which takes about an hour, and 3 auto shop contracts, which also take about an hour. And finally, I'll close things out with a Cluckenbell farm raid. Combined, I made $2.2 million from Kaio and Dr. Dre, $500,000 from Cluckenbell, and $600 grand from my auto shop if I did the Union Depository plus 2 normal contracts. That's $3.3 million right there. And don't forget, this entire time, my Acid Lab and Bunker have been cooking product in the background, so I can sell those for an additional $910,000 if I had the Mansion Speed Boost active on my Acid Lab. So I've just made $4.2 million in one play session. That's a brand new Toreador right there. For Heist Set B, I think we can start with some FIB files for the first hour, then follow it up with the Salvage Yard robberies, and finally, end things with a combo of either the Cluckenbell farm raid or even Oscar Guzman plus the No Way Out heist. This takes less time and pays slightly less than Set A, but it's also way more engaging as it's more gameplay dense than Kaio spam. And finally, for Set C, let's disregard all concern for taste and mental sanity and just spam 2 Kaios in a row. You can do this by completing 1 run of Kaio on your first character, then hopping onto your second character and doing another Kaio run there, because while cooldowns aren't shared across accounts, your bank balance is, so any money you make on your alt or second character is also available on your main. That gives you $2.2 million to $2.4 million in under 2 hours if you have the Sparrow, and it's the most money dense grind you can do short of Casino or even Bogdan glitches. And so once again, those are just some examples here of how you can mix and match different content. I definitely encourage you to come up with your own sets of heists and passive businesses that you grind throughout the week, and then create a new routine next week based on new money bonuses that Rockstar puts out for a weekly update. Remember, grinding does not have to be boring. In fact, it can be both really fun and really rewarding at the same time, as long as you know what you're doing. So make lots of money, have lots of fun, and I hope you hit your goal of $500 million within a year. Who knows? Maybe you can even become a billionaire by the time GTA 6 is out. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did go on to enjoy, or if you found the information helpful, don't forget to drop a like on it, as well as consider subscribing to the channel if you guys are new and you want to see more GTA 5 online content just like this. Also, check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/HazardusHDTV for more GTA online money grinding live streams every single day. With that being said, hopefully you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one tomorrow. Adios, amigos.